Greetings! How are you? Thank you so much for visiting and for coming and for being alive and for showing up today on this journey. You're amazing. Divine being, thank you so much for living your purpose. Peace. Peace, love, and light, y'all. What's going on? This is Sarita Daily, and I'm coming to you with pretty much an article that I started writing, but then I was like, man, the thoughts are coming so quickly, I need to do a video instead. So it's a video for now, an article in the future to go with this video. So how to get back on track with your spiritual goals. First thing that I identified when I was researching this and then looking into this was the fact that all goals are actually spiritual anyway. The very act and practice of doing something repeatedly and then looking forward to something and also looking to the future, but also appreciating your now, are all different components that have to do with, or details, or they're different things that have to do with reaching your goals. And whether they be spiritual or not, it is definitely a spiritual practice to just pay attention to some sort of a goal. And why? It's a very mature thing to do. It takes responsibility. It takes reflection, some self-reflection. And it also takes a level of respecting yourself and what you want and value out of life, and actually placing importance on that and then taking steps to achieve it. Those things are not to be looked at as light things or not to be taken lightly. They are very important. And if you're doing that, then applaud yourselves. And everyone has done some sort of goal setting on some level at some point in their life. You look back, maybe you set a goal that you were going to lose 5 pounds, or that you were going to gain some pounds, or something that you wanted to change about yourself, something you wanted to improve, some new way that you wanted to communicate with someone, a new way that you wanted to be seen by other people. And eventually, as time went on, it didn't happen immediately. It didn't happen always on the spot. But in time, it did happen, and it only happened as a result of you choosing to do that. So the very first step, basically, with getting back on track with your spiritual goals is to identify your goal. What is that goal? And I want to take the time right now, in a moment. I wanted to say 2 words, and get a piece of paper, and then write down at the top, what is my spiritual goal? What is my spiritual goal? Like right now, I challenge you to do that. Just to go ahead and ask yourself that question. If you already have it in mind, write that down. Maybe take a few moments to come up with something, but you'll feel it. Don't overthink it. It'll come, and it'll be refined over time. Sometimes they change, they shift. They get better. You'll understand it clearer, whatever it is. So anyway, as you took a moment to write that down, and you wrote down what is your goal, what do you think about your goal? And why do you want it? That may be something you may want to explore in journaling or whatever. It would be good, because that will remind you and help to guide you back to it. For instance, if someone had a goal that they didn't want to be, or they want it to be, let's talk about what we want, but the person wanted to have a more prosperous life, and that was their goal. And they set a goal to say, I'm going to make more money. And so their goal is that way, but why? Why do you want it? Person wants it because they remember struggling all their life, and maybe they put a story down about how that looked and how they felt and how they don't want to go back to that anymore. That statement can remind you what you don't want to go back to. Or you can write on the other side of it, if you don't want to write that, write down how you'll feel with it. How will you feel with having what you want? Well, I'm going to have to do a little bit more of this particular topic in the next video, because I wanted to give you the proper introduction to this, because it's very important. So next we're going to talk about how you set an intention for change